So, what does it mean to you to be honored by this particular festival?
To be honored at this festival, we're coming up on 62 years at this festival, international festival, one of the most important festivals in the world that celebrates not just world cinema, but filmmakers, and bringing filmmakers back to the Midwest, and Illinois in particular, with a 30% kickback, quite possibly, and training back these tremendous crews to make films here, and what a great place to film.
That's great.
In fact, my next film is shooting in Champaign, so
excellent.
I'm really happy to be here.
Your first major film was Liberty Heights in 1999, correct?
Yep.
Do you remember what the first scene was that you did in the film, and did Barry Levinson use that first take?
That's a tough question, because I thought I was going to be fired. I was so scared. I don't know. I hadn't been on a movie set. Yeah, and there's some political issues, but I have tattoos, and it was about Jews in the 50s and segregation, and they're like, what do you mean Ben has tattoos? But Barry relented, and we since worked together again on the film The Survivor, and I attribute him to really shaping me.
What was the atmosphere and morality on one of my favorite films of the last 10 years, Hell or High Water? How did the ensemble achieve that brilliant part thriller, part Shakespearean tragedy?
I can only speak to, I can speak to a lot on that, but to try to keep it concise, Taylor Sheridan wrote this script, and he tells the tale. He said, I'm out of a job, I've got a kid, I don't know what to do, I've got a wife, I've got a support, maybe I should rob a bank. And as lore goes, he wrote it in 48 hours. So it came from the guts and the marrow of Taylor, and then David Mackenzie, our director, and Pine and I go way back, and Jeff Bridges, he should be on Currency, so I don't know.
Final question, with all the opportunities you've achieved, what bucket list item have you checked off that you're most proud of?
Bucket list that I'm most proud of? Getting to call my parents and say, I got a job again. I'm still working, Mom and Dad.
It's pretty easy then. Yeah.
So what does it mean to you to do this again?
Listen, I think many people here on the board obviously have amnesia. They don't remember how bad it was. But, whatever floats their boat. But listen, a good friend of mine, John Harris, is on the board, and I love this city. It's one of those, I grew up in New York, but, you see so many films about Chicago that, it almost takes on a mythic presence, and yet it's such an attainable city and such a open city, and the people are terrific, the food's fabulous, the architecture's lovely, and it's got a river running through it, so come on, what's not to like?
So broadcasting's so different now, but specifically in your observation, how has the Today Show changed since you began in 1996?
The more things change, the more, in a way, things remain the same. Yes, technology has changed, but the core mission is still the same. When you wake up in the morning, our job is to let you know everything's still there. And if something's changed, to let you know about it. But as the show goes through its now 4 hours, it starts off really hard news, and then we lighten up. And life is not this horrible thing, that there are good things still. No matter what is going on, there is still good to be found.
I'm glad you're safe after the incident.
Thank you.
Given the many years you've been doing this tradition, what was your favorite on-air Halloween costume over the years?
I think it was when Dylan and I did Doc Brown and Marty McFly. She really looked like Marty McFly, and I don't know that I looked that much like Doc Brown, but I think I've got the voice down. Oh, heavens! heavy. There's that word again. Does something happen to the Earth's gravitational pull in the future? Damn, where's that kid?
As a man of the world and at the many levels and lives you have led, what have you checked off your bucket list that you're most proud of?
I think, and there's always room for improvement, obviously, but I think I've tried to be a good dad, and probably less so a good husband. But I think I've been I've tried to be there for the kids.
Yeah.
And my son, in fact, my son is here right now. He has some special needs, and at first, he said he wanted to come here tonight, and then a couple of nights ago he said, "Dad, I don't know." And I said, "It's okay, bud." And today's his birthday, so his mom is out of town. So I brought him here with me, and we hung out. We went to the Cubs game and just did some stuff. So, listen, you can have all the success professionally in the world, but if, you've not done what you should with your family, what does it really matter?
This is Patrick McDonald for HollywoodChicago.com. Copyright 2026.